Okay, so this is what I did is I took your numbers and I tweaked them a little bit, so I'm not doing your exact problem, and that'll give you the sense of accomplishment when you finally solve yours. So I did open this up in Excel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. I'm going to upload this to Google Docs. I'm going to give you that share link. One thing that's different between Google Docs and Excel is this distribution function doesn't have the period in it in Google Docs. So, but if you download it into Excel, it would work. It'll work there too. It should convert it. So when I'm using this binomial distribution formula here, let me delete this. Let me clear out what's in there. Okay. I'll just go through and delete them all for us, and I'll show you how I fill it in. So what I did is I said there's 8 customers that enter the store. 17% of them will buy something, and then we have to answer these questions. Well, one thing that's good when you're working with a binomial distribution or binomial problems is actually fill out the whole table, fill out the distribution table. If I have 8 customers, I could have 0 people to buy all the way up to all 8 people to buy. And so it's good to figure out those probabilities. One thing, Excel's not all that smart when you're doing some of these calculations. So I like to write it right out and get them all. And then I can pick out what I need. So what I'm going to do is to do the formula, and let's see, do I still have that open? Let me see if I still have that open. It's not here. No, maybe it's here. Binomial. Here we go. Here's the Excel help. No, that's the Google Docs. Here's the Excel help. So the Excel help says the syntax to do these distributions, these binomial distributions, is put your number of successes, comma, the number of trials, comma, the probability of a success, comma, and then whether or not you want it to add up all the ones below it or not. So you can write 0 or 1 in the computer. You also can write false or true. I use 0 or 1, just because you're going to see that. As you can see, this Google Docs handout has the same thing. It just doesn't have the period. Number of successes, the number of trials, the probability of a success. Do you want it to add them all up or not? Okay, cumulative. So let's go back to my Excel sheet. And so I'm going to double click. Remember, you do a formula. You start with equals. And you just start typing binomial, and there it pops up. And I could type, if I wanted to figure out the probability of 0 customers buying something, right here I could type 0, comma, 8, because I have 8 trials that I'm doing, 8 customers, comma, 0.17. And then because I don't want to add anything up, I just do the 0 and then press enter, and there's the probability. Now, to save ourselves some time, because this is a spreadsheet, and this is something spreadsheets do well, and see the way I put 0 through 8 on that column? So I'm going to change that 0 that I typed in, and I'm just going to click on the cell that's got the 0, press enter, same number, no surprise it's here. But then what's nice about it, go back to the cell we started, put your cursor on that little rectangle, it goes to a plus sign, and you can drag that down to here. And then that's the probabilities. And see what it did is it took the number of successes, so it moved it down to 1. And then I just clicked this one, you see it moved it down to 2. So those are the probabilities. So how does that help me? Well, for question A, it says, find the probability that exactly 4 people make a purchase. Well, right there is the probability for exactly 4 successes out of 8. So that would be the answer. That would be the answer for part A. So 0.02775. Now, find the probability that at least 5 people will make a purchase. Well, I want to add up at least 5 means 5 all the way up to 8. So I'm going to add up those cells. We could do that by hand. Our computer will also do it. We can do equals, sum, and I'm just going to select those cells and add them up. And there we go. That's the probability, at least 5. Not a very big probability. And what I'm going to show you something here in a minute about this. Whoops, nope, I did the wrong thing. Here, let me undo what I just did. Where do I undo things here? Insert, is it under insert? No, I don't know. Well, I'm going to paste values. It'll let me paste values. Here we go. There, so that's that probability. Now we want to find the probability that 4 or fewer. So 4 or fewer will include 4. So that tells me I want to add up those 4. Now, what we can do, well, I'm going to show you the long way, but I think when this is where we can use the cumulative feature, because the cumulative feature always adds up from the number we have down. I'm pretty sure it does at least. But what I'm going to do is just double check that. I'm going to do equals sum, and I'm going to select those cells. And I know that's the answer for part C. I'm going to see if I do the binomial distribution cumulative. So what I'm going to do is grab that answer. Let's copy that. Let's paste it here. And now I'm going to cheat for a minute. I'm not going to cheat, but I'm going to come back here and I'm going to change that 0 to 1, because that'll be the cumulative, and see if it adds up to 4. It might only add 3 or up, but nope, it does. It gives me that exact same answer. Okay, so do you see how by changing the cumulative from 0 to 1 or from false to true, it'll add up the probability for 4, the probability for 3, the probability for 2, 1, and 0. Okay, I'm going to change that back to 0 just because I might not be done with that. And find the probability that at least one customer makes a purchase. Well, we could just add up 1 to 8. That's doable. Now, what you could do is I could just say, because if I want the probability of it at least 1, that means that 1 through 8, it doesn't include 0. So probably what you just got done studying last week was these probabilities of at least 1, and what we did was find the probability of 1 minus the probability of none. So what I can do right here is I can say 1 minus that 0 probability, and that's what the rest of these will add up to. Just to make sure that I'm doing this right, I'm going to say equals sum and add up all those other ones. And do I get the same number? I do. Okay, so at least 1 is one of those buzzwords that in probability questions we like you to think about. Now, this last question, I'm thinking, as the manager of the department store, how should the store persuade customers who went to the store to make a purchase? I don't know. Well, we could offer some kind of sale. I don't know. I don't know if this is a math question. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm almost thinking this is a thinking question. So I hope that helps you figure out how to do this.